Well, hello everyone, Texy88 here and welcome to another retro gaming review. Now, after having just reviewed the Sinclair ZX Spectrum port of w.e.c, now I'm giving a once over to the Amstrad version. And the Spectrum version I thought was really, really good. Now I'm hoping that I can direct similar praise at this version. You can see a prominent Konami logo on the just above the head. Looks like music's done by the same man as the Spectrum 128K version I reviewed. Redefine keys, yep, press a key for gear, accelerate, brake, left, right. It's not letting me, actually I'm going to redefine those again, it wouldn't let me use P, I'm presuming that's already used reserved for something else, so I'll do gear, accelerate, brake, left, right. Okay. I've used U and O instead of I and P. It's not letting me use P, which suggests to me that P might be used for port already and be reserved as a result. Ooh, this is looking good. That came in really smoothly. And it tells you what gear you're in the bottom right corner. It's got that same. And it's got that same steering marker in the bottom right corner of the Spectrum. Damn it! I can just about make out the word Konami on the side of this car as well. One thing I've noticed is that this version automatically puts you back into low gear after you've had a crash, whereas I had to do that myself on the Spectrum version. That didn't really bother me when I was reviewing that version, as if you think about it, in a real car you would have had to have shifted it yourself if you stopped for whatever reason. I'm really pleasantly surprised at how smooth and fast this is. This is This is looking really good as well. The only thing that I'm not quite liking so much is the fact that they've got that stripy road effect. Now let me through. Now, although in the Spectrum version you probably noticed that the grass on either side of the road had that same kind of striping effect, the road was left totally clear, and I actually preferred that over this, because the problem is that stripy effect on the road is a little bit of an eyesore. I kind of wish it could have gone for the blank road in this, just like the Spectrum version did. It's not awful, it just looks a bit tacky and sore. Nice sound effect for the ocean logo on the right there. Oh, damn it. Ooh, got two different kinds of crashes. It's got that same kind of spinning effect like you saw in the Spectrum version, and that one way if you have a major crash you get sent skyward. Both of which are smoothly animated, fairly smoothly animated. No, but this is really good. If it weren't for that road, I'd be every bit as impressed with this version as I am with that Spectrum version. I'm just trying to decide whether or not this road effect is enough to cause me to not be able to give it as high as 9 like I gave the Spectrum version. So it's not unbearable. It just looks a bit. It just looks a bit of an eyesore. I just would have preferred. I just would have preferred it if it could have been kept. Kept the. Oh, damn it! I must have just clipped that. I said the same thing about the Spectrum version of w.e.c, and I'm going to say the same thing about this Amstrad CPC version. If anyone who was responsible for the Amstrad CPC port of Outrun takes a look at this is how that game should have turned out. Oh, you scum! 24 du Mans. So it's a 24-hour. They really like to plunder into you and dart in front of you in this game. Oh, damn, it didn't quite make it. Oh, looks like a car ran into difficulties on the right there. Oh, I was quite some way away from completing a lap there compared to how... Let's try that again. I do like that entrance though. Nice tidy sound effect for the engine as well. Remember, for anyone who might be watching who's really into the current generation of consoles and computers, you've got to bear in mind the limitations of the hardware available at the time. This was an 8-bit computer, and memory in the 1980s for computers was extremely limited and very expensive. Sometimes expanding a computer's memory could cost more than the actual computer did. That's how scarce it was, from what judging by my research. It did get a bit better towards the end of the 80s, start of the 90s, but for a while it was memory was rather limited. Pretty impressive skid sound effect. Bit of an odd sound it makes when you pass a car, that sound. When you're going a bit faster, the fact that the road has that sort of stripy effect, it makes it a bit flickery, and I wonder whether anyone who suffered from photosensitive epilepsy could have potentially had issues. Did you see? I went past some cars that ran into difficulties and crashed there just a moment ago. There was smoke coming out of their cars. It's good when you see computer AI fail, because it makes it more realistic, and when computers do everything perfectly, it's sickening. Regardless of whether it's racing, having a perfect racing line every time and not even remotely coming close to crashing out, or when you're playing a snooker or golf game, or even a football game, and it calculates every shot perfectly every time. You git. No, this is a really good port. Very impressed with this. I wonder if 8-Bit Rach is watching this and is tempted to give this a whirl, because I know she's played Chase HQ on her channel for the Amstrad CPC, but if she didn't get to experience this, then Rach, I honestly reckon you'd enjoy this. It's absolutely delightful. It may not have quite the depth of Chase HQ, but that doesn't make it any less enjoyable. This is a really good port. It's fast, it's smooth, it looks and sounds great. Everything about it just oozes quality. It's just that road design that I'm still pondering over. I'm sure I just missed that. I might have to rethink that, because there was a noticeable gap between that car and my car. So I may have a slight issue with the hit detection in this version compared to that of the Spectrum version. Oh. Well, I'm going to wind up this review. The music's nice here as well. Oh, I got a little bit further. There were 3 uncompleted sections before them. Cool, you got to be really good to get there before the time runs out. I guess you've got to do really well in either or both of the previous 2 sections. So it builds up enough time to get you through that 3rd section to complete a lap. But anyway, that's WEC Le Mans or W.E.C. Le Mans for the Amstrad CPC. An absolutely superb conversion. I can't fault it very much at all. Imagine done a good port for the Amstrad just as they did for the Spectrum. So let's do my usual graphics. Still very high quality. Everything. As with the Spectrum version, there are plenty of frames of animation as things come from the high horizon and gradually grow in size via perspective as they come towards you. So no, nothing looks jerky and juddery in that. The only slight issue I have is the fact it's got a stripy road, which, as I said, is a little bit sore to look at, particularly at faster speeds, and it might be more of a problem for people with photosensitive epilepsy. I would have preferred if they'd gone the Spectrum route and left the roads completely blank, or maybe just had lines in the road like a traditional painted white lines or something like that. Sound I thought was really good. This music's beautiful, and I liked the sounds of the engine and the skid noises that were present during gameplay. And the little jingles here and there. So I can't complain about the sound. I'm definitely above average. Gameplay plays like a dream for the most part. As I said, it's a bit of a problem with that road having those stripes in it, and as you saw, there were a couple of moments where the hit detection was just a little bit less forgiving than I think it could have been. There was a point where it said I hit a car even though I would have just missed them. So I think I'm going to give the Amstrad CPC version... I'm sort of on the 8-9 borderline, but I think, all fairness, because of the road and slight hit detection issues, I'm going to go with the 8. But that still doesn't mean this is a terrible game. It's not by any stretch of the imagination. And particularly if you've just played the CPC port of Outrun, which, as you may know from my review alone, was absolutely piss poor. This is nowhere near as lamentable as that. I will happily recommend this to CPC fans. It really is a very good conversion. So, hope you enjoyed that review. Catch you on another one soon. Texie88 out.